Hey everyone, George here. So, as we all know, the OBBB got passed in July 2025, the new tax legislation, and there are a number of changes for both businesses and individuals that I want to cover in a series. So, what we're gonna do is go over in a three-part series all the business changes that could potentially affect your contractor business. There's so much to cover, and I'm gonna have to go relatively quick on each one. Episode 1 here is going to be all about clean energy credits, depreciation and interest reform, employer incentive credits, and a few other deductions you're not going to want to miss. So let's get started. So the first major change under the OBBB were to the clean energy credits for vehicles. And under old legislation, you could get a $7,500 tax credit for any new vehicle, new EV that you purchase, a $4,000 credit for any used EV, and a $40,000 credit for heavy-duty commercial electric vehicles. And the sad story with this is that as of September 30, 2025, all of these credits have expired. So this is the first major change. It's an unfortunate one. Second big change is to the alternative fuel refueling credit under Section 30C. And with this, you can get up to a $30,000 credit per location for installation and all the ancillary costs related to not just EV chargers, but also what would qualify our biodiesel fuels, a slew of other alternative charging fuels, and full infrastructure installation costs, everything around it. The thing with this is it ends June 30 of 2026. However, everything needs to be installed in service, placed in service, ready to fuel vehicles by that date. So if there's any permitting, engineers need to coordinate things like that. It all needs to happen completely done, everything installed and again ready to fuel by June 30, 2026 in order to qualify for the credit. And it is a $30,000 credit for your business, so that is a pretty big one. The next big credit is the employer provided child care credit. And unlike the other two EV credits, which are either expired or are expiring soon, this one was actually expanded. So the employer provided child care credit used to be pretty small. It used to be 25% of qualified child care expenses and capped at $150,000 per business. But starting in 2026 for regular businesses, it's increased to 40%, and for small businesses, it's increased to 50% of qualified child care expenses. And the limits go from $500,000 for regular businesses to $600,000 cap for small businesses. So that's up from the $150,000. So that's a significant increase with the new legislation. So this is a huge factor in employee retention. If it's something you offer, it's definitely something you want to put in compensation packages and advertise it as such on Indeed or wherever you're advertising to recruit good people. And again, the credit can offset on-site child care facilities, contracting with third-party vendors, and child care resource and referral services. Next on the list is the paid family medical leave credit, which is becoming permanent. So this credit has been like the house guest that will never leave. Like it kept getting kicked down, like a can getting kicked down the road. Like it was going to expire, I believe, back in 2022, and every year they kept extending it one more year. So it was just very wishy-washy with employers. They never knew when it was going to expire, so a lot of them didn't want to put that policy in place at their company, knowing full well it could be gone next year. So luckily, with the new legislation, this is finally going to be made permanent. Again, this is a 12.5 to 25% credit on wages paid for family or medical leave. And the other big change with this, other than just being made permanent, is that now employers get a choice of taking the credit against actual wages paid during leave or against the insurance policy for paid family leave. The next one up is advanced manufacturing production credit, and this one gets tighter with the new bill. So the old rule is offered as a credit for the production of domestic solar wind energy components, battery components, critical minerals, inverters, and other clean energy components. Under the new law effective July 5, 2025, there are new restrictions on entities that have foreign influence or are foreign controlled. And for those, you get no credits. Critical minerals are phased out between 2031 and 2034, and the wind components are completely phased out in 2027. So manufacturers in the clean energy space have, a shorter timeline to be able to utilize all these credits. Next is the business interest limitation, and there's the old 163J rules where business interest expense can be deductible up to 30% of adjusted taxable income. They used to allow you to add back depreciation, amortization, depletion, all that, into the final taxable income to get at the adjusted taxable income, which allowed you a larger interest expense deduction, as in the cap was higher. However, in 2022, they changed that where now they didn't allow you to add back depreciation, amortization, and depletion. But now going forward and starting in 2025, you could start adding those back again. So it gives you a higher interest cap. Now, this is pretty useful for trucking operations, construction companies, or anything that's a heavily leveraged kind of entity. And it also helps with private equity companies that load up heavily on acquisition debt, to purchase their portfolio companies. So this would benefit certain companies, but in my experience, 99.9% of companies don't actually pass that 30%. So it's just nice to have it. And the final one we're going to go over today is the big one of the year. I'm sure you heard it a million times by now. It's the changes to depreciation. It's that bonus depreciation. 100% bonus is back and it's permanent. Under the old law, bonus was only allowed 40% in 2025, 20% in 2026, and it was gone thereafter. Now they brought it back. It's permanent. So buying equipment, trucks, fleets, machinery, that kind of thing, there's a huge tax advantage in that you're front loading the deduction, even though if you haven't paid for the whole thing, if you financed it, as long as you own it one way or another, you get the full deduction in the current year. It's obviously, reduces the tax bill quite a bit. It releases cash flow for businesses to go invest, more heavily, all that. So this one is definitely the big one, that 100% bonus depreciation is back. So I know that's a lot we went over just now. To make full circle, we covered the clean energy vehicle and refueling credits, and they're both either one is ended and the next one is ending early. The child care credits, and they're expanding dramatically. Paid family leave credit, and that's finally made permanent, and you can also now take the credit against the insurance policy, not just against paid wages during family leave. The business interest deduction, and that's finally been loosened again. And the bonus depreciation, and that's 100% bonus made permanent for good. So, there's a lot of changes. So that's the first of our 3 episodes. I hope you found this helpful. Click like, subscribe, turn on notifications for any updates, and hope to see you in the next one.